this is it. This is the video. Hello, my name is Rani and welcome to Goblin Goofs, where I make silly things like stop motion puppets, giant paper mache fish and other cursed and blessed things.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4!
I was recently dragged into volunteering for a miniature hobbyist event called Kamping Kitbash, organised by my husband Nils and Dylan Fielding, which was so freaking cool. Now, when I saw that the mascot for the event was a goblin called Pebbles, I immediately knew I had to make my own twists on it. So I reached out to Tina and asked if I was allowed to make a stop motion puppet, and she was so excited. So I started immediately. There are two versions of Pebbles that I'm drawing inspiration from. The first one is the one that Tina drew, like the very first Pebbles, which is freaking adorable. And the second one is the one that Pablo drew for the poster, which has a bit more of a feral vibe to it. So I got my trusty tablet and started designing my own version of Pebbles. I wanted to stay as close to the design as possible, giving him some big ears, a hat in the shape of a tent and a cheeky grin. Got some blue, purple and green in the skin, gave him a hot pink shirt to match those of the crew at the event, and threw some jorts in there as well. I mean, who doesn't love jorts? Okay, so now I have my drawing of Pebbles, it's time to start building. I'd already made a head and a pair of feet out of polymer clay, but needed to make a chest and a pelvic piece for the base armature. I'm using some leftover wire from another project for the limbs to make the puppet posable. I'm using UV resin to glue the polymer parts to the wire, since I couldn't find my epoxy glue. This should be fairly strong, but I'm using a very old tube and the brand is one I've had questionable results with, but it's fine. Right? As you can see, it does take some time to cure the resin with my tiny nail art lamp. So it's the end of the day. I don't have any daylight anymore. I was supposed to use epoxy glue to glue everything, and then the epoxy glue that I had wasn't usable anymore, so I had to use resin. For my resin I needed my UV lights, I couldn't find my UV lights, and yada yada yada. Eventually it worked out, but one of the feet is still loose. And I can't be asked to fix it today, so I'm gonna have dinner and I'm gonna have dessert and I'm just gonna exist for the rest of the night. So I'll see you tomorrow. After doing a quick proportion check, it's time to start foaming. I put some foam on the chest, which is made of regular dish sponges, which I wouldn't really recommend, but whatever. And I made some millibit bones on the leg wires. Here's Pebbles with their arms and legs fully foamed. The upper layer is sports tape to even everything out a bit. And then it was time for the hands. Foaming the hands with sponge would be very time consuming and really bulky, so I used the same sports tape from the body to individually wrap every tiny goblin finger. That's one hand finished, and that's two. Wow. I bought this lovely blue jersey for Pebbles skin, for which I used a Dina Grubbs tutorial on the Domestica. I highly recommend checking her out since she makes the most amazing stop motion puppets. And with that, it's time to go to bed. There's plenty of work in the morning. Today we're making a miniature hat. On both the original design by Tina and Pablo's drawing, you can see Pebbles wearing a hat with a little tent on top. I'll be making the hat out of some trash I have lying around, like cardboard, some canvas scraps, rope, low quality flocking I was gifted, and some glue. So we're just gonna draw a little hat and bam! Tiny tent hat. Oh, she's beauty, she's great. Oh wow. Look at it sparkle. I'm one of the cool kids with this. Hello. I bet you can see where this is going. I did not, in fact, film myself painting Pebbles. I know this is a rookie YouTube mistake, but I can't undo the past. I'm sorry. I also didn't film me making Pebbles clothes because I was folded up in exactly the same position as I was painting Pebbles, so here's a tasteful collage of what materials I used. And with that, I guess we'll just go to the reveal? Yeah. So he only lasted a day, which is so fucked up. On the first day, he immediately broke off an arm, which was kind of awkward. There are some design flaws. I was very skimpy on the Fimo clay, which kind of caused some erosion on the inside of like the body parts. So his arm just snapped off clean. Ugh. All jokes aside, a huge thank you to everyone who was at the event, who I worked with, who I met, everyone who made beautiful things, kit bashing their own minis, selling their own stuff, and making their own videos about the event as well. A very special thank you to Nils, Dan, and Tina, without whom this would not have been a possibility, and without whom Pebbles would not have been a possibility. So thank you, really. I do have some really big things brewing, so stay tuned to see more content on this channel. And with that, till next time, bye!